Hello, hopefully we are live. Hi guys, welcome to the first of the Totally Beads Make Along Live videos that we're doing. I'm just going to wait for a couple of people to join us. Hopefully you've all seen the clips that we're going live and we'll have a few people coming in. I'm going to try and read as many of your comments at the same time as making things, so... Oh, I can see I've got Kitty in here. Hello, Kitty. Thank you for sharing your page with me. I've got a few of you joining me now, which is nice. So, yeah, we're just going to do a very relaxed little make-along live session every day this week, actually. So between myself and Kitty, we're going to go live every day. Normally, it's going to be at 10 o'clock. So I actually have a create and craft show tomorrow morning at 9, and then Kitty will be live at 10 o'clock straight after. So obviously I'll be on from 9 until 9:45 with the new timings of create and craft shows, and then you'll be able to head on to the Totally Beads page and then have a look at Kitty's live at 10 o'clock, which will be nice. So I can't remember what Kitty's actually doing tomorrow. Sorry, Kitty. So what Totally Beads have decided to do to get us all through the crazy times that we're having at the moment and a lot of downtime at home. So Totally Beads are actually going to do free PDF patterns every day. So you can get them in a little 24-hour slot. Today's pattern, let me show you, I'll put my coffee down. Today's pattern is this flower brooch that we've had on the website before. You've seen us do a couple of little videos, but I thought it'd be really nice to make something live with you. So I'm going to show you how to make this flower brooch, and also in the pattern are these adorable little bows. You can either have them as brooches or you can do them as little hair clips. Back when I was doing bits and pieces for wedding makes and for bridal pieces, I made so many of these and popped them onto little Kirby grips, and then you can have them in your hair, whether you put your hair up and do little patterns with them. They were super popular, and also we just wanted to give you something to get you through. Oh, Kitty's doing bead stringing tomorrow. Thank you, Kitty. Just something to get you through the days at the moment. I know a lot of you are having to stay at home, or trying to stay at home as much as we can as well. So try and challenge yourself just to get a project done every day. That's what I'm doing. Hi Bernie, I'm trying to get one thing done every day, whether it be a project that you've had in the cupboard for months or you want to do something new. Just try and challenge yourself to that, because then actually you feel like you're achieving something out of the day as well. I'm still getting lots of fresh air, taking the dog out, which is nice. Obviously keeping distance. So the only interaction I've had today is hello to a couple of neighbours from either inside their windows or from the other side of the street. So we thought that it would be really nice to do these videos so that we can all interact. We're all like-minded people creating something with beads, so we thought that we would share that with you as well. Hi Judith, thank you all for joining. Let me know if you've been beading anything, what else you've been working on. For those of you who have missed the first part of the video, what we're doing, Totally Beads, every day for a little 24-hour period are giving you a little free PDF download. Now this is today's one. So all you need to do is pop onto the Totally Beads website, and there is now a section down on the side with all the categories entitled, hi Marie, entitled free projects. And you can go in there, hi Joe, you can go in there and pop the PDF into your basket and then just check out, and it will be emailed through to you. So you can have them every day, collect them up, and hopefully it'll be a little isolation package that you can get through. I'm going to make it along with you live now. Tomorrow, Kitty is doing bead stringing. So we're also going to give you a materials list. I'd said earlier what I'm going to be using is a 0.3 gauge wire. I'm also using some beautiful bicones. They're purple with an AB finish, and a brooch back. We do have kits available if you don't have any of the materials and you want to obviously be ordering those as well. But we wanted to pick things that you can use from your crafting stash I'm sure like me, you've got cupboards full of things. So it's time to start using them all up, which would be nice. Before I forget, I'm going to show you a few of my samples for tomorrow's show before I have to pick them, pack them all up and get ready for tomorrow. Hi, Nicola. Thank you all for joining us. So tomorrow, I have these on Create and Craft. Oh, you're going to have to excuse the light. You can't really see it properly. Let me turn this one down quickly and then you might be able to see. So tomorrow we've got French beaded roses. These domes are the domes that Kitty was using. She had the large ones for the semi-precious trees, and we kept the smallest ones to make these beautiful, they're like a Beauty and the Beast rose inside the dome. The set itself will have the little dome, and you'll have enough materials to make 3 of them. So let me pop this up so you can see. So we've made a large rose to go into your dome, but then you're also going to have enough materials to make some other little bits and pieces as well. I've also got the lovely swag necklaces on. These I've loved doing. Now this was a very rushed sample, so you'll have to excuse this. Unfortunately, we couldn't get everything available and ready for the show in time, but it's a gorgeous way to use lots of seed beads, and we've got these ombre seed beads which I'm in love with. I think there's about 4 different colours. And then we also have my hematite lace weave. Now we did these as a workshop not so long ago that a lot of you attended. I know lots of you have been making them since as well, but we wanted to do them on air in case you couldn't get to us and you couldn't obviously come to the workshop. So this is one of the colourways. They've got a gorgeous magnetic clasp on them as well, so really nice and easy to put on yourself. And you'll get the colour sets. We'll make 2 bracelets. Although we've gone for the same sort of colour family, I wanted to do it so that you could have something really different. So we've got the nice pink and purples, we've got the blues and the greens. I still need to add clasps to these tonight. Talk about last minute, eh? But there's some beautiful colours, and it's a really lovely intricate weave, but simple. So it's a nice way to start working with different materials. Hi Karen, hope you're settling into your new home. I am, thank you. I've managed to clear up enough space. The study was one of the first rooms, and for those of you who don't know, a week before last I moved into a new home. John, my husband, and I bought a new home, and we're in just in time because it looks like we might be spending a bit of time here. So I'm battling at the moment, lots of Facebook Lives, lots of projects and lots of DIY, but we are very settled, thank you, it's lovely. Hi Sheila, thanks for joining. Okay, so let's get on with the Make Along Live. So like I said, it's the free PDF pattern. I'm going to be making this bicone brooch, but you could use the flowers however you would like to. Oh, my mum's watching too. Hi mum, thanks. My biggest fan. Okay, so I've got a 0.3 gauge wire. There's lots on the spool, and you just cut them off and open it up. And for each of the petals, I take about 2 or 3 turns of the wire. It's always a good idea to keep them on the spool, because where they have the little notches where they're stored, you can then keep those from obviously coming off and all unravelling. Kitty also does sell some really great little clips that go over the wire, which will obviously help it from unravelling as well. If you have been locking it in, then you'll get these little kinks. So I'm just going to snip that little bit off of the end so that we've got a nice, neat finish. And then I'm going to fold my wire in half. Now I'm going to put you down now so that you can have a look at the beads that I'm using. Take a quick sip of coffee. We are doing a very laid back and informal home approach to beading with you. So hopefully you've got your bead mats out as well. Let me know if you are making anything and if you would like some help, some guidance, if you're stuck on a project, or if you've got your materials out as well. Hi Angela, looking forward to the beading. Great, let's crack on. Okay, so I'm going to turn you down. And then hopefully you'll see my desk. Lovely. Okay, so I've got my length of wire. Let me just see if I can get rid of your comments for a minute. Okay, I've got my length of wire, and this is what we're going to do, is create this graduated effect with the bicones. And we're going to start off using only a couple and then graduating up to only 5 in a row and then back down. And this gives us this perfect petal shape. It's going to lend itself to lots of other flowers as well. So it's a good little technique to learn. So like I said, the wire that I'm using is a 0.3 gauge. I've got these 4mm bicones. Actually, I think these might even be larger. Oh no, we've got 4 mil. So I'm going to add 3 of them on and move them down to the middle of my wire. Hi Sarah, looking forward to seeing the makes this week. Yeah, it's going to be really lovely. We're going to give you some materials lists so that you can be making along live with us as well. Obviously, get your free download. And hopefully we can get some good little crafty sessions going. Okay, so what I've done is added my 3 beads on, and because it's in the middle, I've left that single one as my first point of my petal, and then I've brought my other reel of wire, my other strand, through the 2, and I'm just going to pull that tightly, making sure that I'm still in the middle. And what that's going to do is actually close the gap between them, and I'll start to get the bicones interlocking. Because the bicones are triangular, it's going to give us that lovely little effect. And then you just start adding up, building the flower. So we're going to add 3 bicones on this time. Now, a few top tips when you're doing this, because it is a soft gauge wire. So if you overwork it, it can snap. And obviously the amount of kinks we want to generate, we don't want kinks. So we're going to try and remove any of the kinks as we're working. So try and keep them as straight as possible. So you'll see I'm keeping both my tails, both my strands together, and then I'm moving them through the 3. And then rather than pulling it really tightly to begin with, just do it reasonably loosely, bringing it down, and you'll always get one side going faster than the other. So bring it down until you get about an even amount. And then I like to sink the beads right on top. So before I pull the wire straight, so you'll see it'll bow out on both sides. Before you pull it straight, just hold them into place. And that means that you should get a really even finish as well. Because if you pull one too quickly, just get your comments. If you pull one too quickly, it's going to kink, and then you're going to get a nasty little dent on the outside. So we want to try and lessen the amount of kinks that we have in it and make sure that we get as neat a finish as possible. Okay, so then you're just going to add up to 4. So adding on to the next row, we're going to have all 4 of them. Bring it down, bringing that wire through. Oh, I'm very sorry. You know, I said it was going to be a relaxed and informal approach. Sorry, Kitty, I'm trying to be as professional as I can on your page here. My stand is not playing ball. Right, there we go. As we were, okay. It was, I was more worried that the dog was going to interrupt, not my stand letting me down. Okay, so back to it. Bringing the strands together, moving those bicones through, and that will give us all 4 of them. So you see, just take your time with it. When you're working with a wire, it can be a little bit tricky. You just want to keep it as straight and as neat as possible. So again, working through both sides. So you'll see I'm just pulling through both edges as much as I can to get it near. And then moving those down on top of the bicones from before, and then pull each side through. And you'll notice I'm not pulling up the way, because you want to try and keep the wire as flat as possible, and that way we're going to keep the strength in it as well. So up to 4, and then we'll take it up to 5. So how are you all coping at the moment? Are you getting beading done? Has anyone been driving themselves mad inside yet? Hopefully you're all doing okay. But just remember, you're not in it alone. We're all here together. And that's what hopefully these Facebook Lives are going to be for as well. You can just have a little bit of time out, a break from the news perhaps, get your beading out, and then we can all sit and do it together. So like I said, Kitty will be with you tomorrow at 10 in the morning. I'm going to be live on Create and Craft at 9. And Kitty will be straight after onto Facebook. So you can have a lovely little beading fix tomorrow morning. And then on Wednesday, Kitty will also be on at 10 o'clock on her Facebook Live. Thursday is going to be me with chainmail. We're going to make a helm weave bracelet. So get your jump rings out. Marie, no beading done, Mojo on holiday. Oh, well, hopefully we can bring some of that back for you with some of the projects that we've got coming. I know it's really hard to keep motivated when you're inside. I'm still finding, I know there's a lot of jokes about people just sitting around in pyjamas, and to be honest, I'm getting up, getting dressed, getting my face on, you know, as you would when you're going out. And like I said, just try and get 1 or 2 projects done a day. Just start off with one and just think I'll make a time to myself today just to get one project done. And then that way at least you're also achieving something. I think that's going to be really good for our mental health as well. Karen, you're still working at the moment. Oh, well done you. Thanks for keeping it all going. Doing a great job. Okay, so I've moved down. I've got 5 across this row and I'm going down to 4 now. And these become a little bit easier to pull into place because you're not graduating up in size, you're going down. So the bed for it to sit on is already there. So I'm just going to move down now into 3. Really trying to get some kind of routine. That's it, exactly. My routine hasn't really changed. Obviously, I work from home anyway, so I'm just sticking to my normal routine. Obviously, not going out and, you know, pop into the shops and such like. I have anchored myself down this week. I do need to go to the studios tomorrow, but I still get up, you know, still try to achieve something with the day. Take the dog for a nice walk twice a day, so that really helps clear my mind. When obviously I'm working from home, but also now that some of you have to as well. So exercise is really important. And I think our beading and crafting is keeping us all sane at the moment too, hopefully. Okay, so I've got 2 on here as well, and then I'm going to work down to 1. So this is going to give me my entire petal shape. So as you can see, it comes together really quickly. You need 5 of them for the flower in total. And once you've learned how to manipulate the wire in this way and start working with your beads, there are so many different shapes that you can actually create. So you can start having fun, learn from the PDF pattern and our top tips. And obviously this video is going to be on the page for you to refer back to as well. And then you can start manipulating it and designing your own pieces. Now, what I do when I get to the very bottom is just pinch on either side of that bicone, and you'll see that that will give me a really nice, neat finish to the end of the wire. And that's important because what we'll do when we make all of our petals, and you'll see they interlock together really beautifully, that's going to limit the amount of wire down at the bottom. We've got 2 more to do. And that's going to give us a nice neat finish as well. So working with wire is just all about limiting the amount of kinks that you have in the wire and also making sure that you're neat enough that you're going to get a nice clean finish as well. So we'll do another couple more. I wanted to not prep too much so that we could stay with you for a little while, have a bit of a chat. Find out what you've all been doing. Has anyone used this time to learn a new craft or to learn a new project? I know hundreds of you have the new USBs that Kitty has been working on. So let us know if you've been doing anything. We also have the Totally Handmade Facebook page where you can all go on and share. We've got hundreds of people on there now, hundreds of members. You can all go on and share your makes and inspire each other. So it's a really nice little community that Kitty has set up. And if you're not got company at home, get yourselves onto those pages. And like I said, you can start interacting with some like-minded people as well, which I think is what we all need at the moment. No talk of news, just beads. Getting us through. Morag, looking good. Thank you very much. Okay, so pulled that one a little bit tighter so you can see how you end up with a really sharp edge on one side. So just make sure that you're doing it as evenly as possible, linking those in and pulling tightly. Now Kitty has added some really beautiful brooch backs into these as well, and I know a lot of you have hundreds of these brooch backs because they sell them in really big bulk bags. I'm sure you've probably got some in your stash somewhere, and not many of us really know what to do with them. They're just these little brooch backs that have holes on the back of them, and until you really know or have an idea of what you can add on to them, they just sit in our stash, don't they, not getting used. So this is a really nice way of using them. I'll show you one of those brooches in a minute. Up to 4 on this one. And these can be used as embellishments. You can obviously use them as brooches. You can also put them onto little, I put this on so that I could show you, but if you've just got little hair bobbles, you can also put the brooches on these and then use them as hair grips, or, you know, hair ties with a decorative finish. You can also use them on things like bags and accessories. So you can use them as really nice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, trying to count and talk. You can use them as really nice little accessories for bags, makeup bags, anything like that as well. And I know I've seen a few designs where you can actually use the brooches as detachable pendants. So if you make a chain, you can add the brooch on the bottom of the chain as a pendant, and then obviously you can take them off as well. So I think that's a really nice idea. Get creative with them. It's a simple make, probably takes about 25 minutes to half an hour to make, I would say. I could probably do them a little bit quicker if I was rushing, but take your time. We just wanted to give you something that you can achieve in a day very easily and just get your hands working. Judith, I don't have any brooch backs. Oh, Judith, you're missing out. Totally Beads do have the sets of these available. I know for many of the crafters, they will have a little stash, but this is what they look like. Let me show you the ones out of the set. I think they're really handy, Judith, so hopefully you'll think of a few uses for them if you manage to get your hands on some. Now, Kitty was saying the warehouse at the moment, they're running on split shifts, but all of the orders are going out. So keep an eye on the website. Obviously, we will keep you updated with everything. But these are the brooches. So they have little secure clasps on one side, so you can swivel it around and get the pin out. That will also securely lock it as well once you're wearing it or it's on your bag. And then they normally have little holes in the back, depending on the size. You get 2 3s and 5 7s. You can get some really large ones. And all we're going to do once we've finished our flower is pop that through the holes to secure them in. So they're a great way to make, look at these pearls. I was desperate to make the flower in these bicones that come with the purple, but I didn't think you'd see it on the video. But how stunning would that be as a hair clip as well? I think that would be stunning. I'm going to use one of the pearls. They're very generous with their kits because you actually only need one pearl to go in the middle of the flower, but you do get a whole strand of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got about 8 brooches in there as well. And you get 2 strands of each of your bicones as well. These are the larger ones that we're using. So I'm just going to decant another one out here. Hi, Helen. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining. Hope you're keeping safe. Marie, so you know hair clips that Kitty does, would it work on those and how would you attach them? Yes, it would. So Kitty has the fabric hairbands that she uses. Now they have a longer base at the top of them, and then they've got the little clip that holds it into place. So once I've made this flower, I'll show you, we'll have basically a stem, and what you could do is take the stem and just wrap it around the top section of those hair clips, because they are the ones that clip together, but they do have a flat edge to them. And because they have the colours, it would be a really beautiful finish, because you would have some of the bar exposed, and then obviously the flower would just be an embellishment on the end. What you could also do is hot glue gun them on if you would like to. So you can actually make your flower, create the stem. I'm going to show you how to bind all of that together. And then you could take it and hot glue gun. What size are the pearls, please? These are a 6mm pearl in here, I believe. So we've got a smaller bicone, sorry, and then a larger pearl, but you could put any size pearl in the middle. It's going to be whatever you need to close the gap in the middle of your flower. So you could make these in tiny bicones. You could even make them in the largest bicones that you have as well. Depending on the materials you've got at home, the concept is exactly the same, and I'm using a 0.3 gauge wire. Stephanie, hi Sarah, I'm working on a multi-row flat spiral as I'm watching you. Ah, fantastic, Stephanie. That bracelet is one of my favourites. Kitty launched that on the last USB, and I actually started making one. We had the Essex Bead Fair a few weeks ago. Time is merging into one, so I'm not sure. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. And I sat there pretty much for the whole day making one of those in the grey pinky colour, sort of minky coloured pearls. It was absolutely beautiful. And it's actually a really simple make, but so effective. I think it's nice because you don't have to engross yourself too heavily. I love the idea of you sat there beading with me as well. That's really lovely. You don't have to engross yourself in it entirely, and it comes together quite quickly, which is nice. The double is a nice take on the single one that Kitty has had before. Who else have we got? Camille, hi Sarah, hope you're well. I am, thank you. I'm doing really well. I hope you guys are as well. Hope you're all keeping safe and keeping sane. That's all we can do right now. Let's have a look. I'm just starting off this last petal. So for those of you who have just joined us, because I can see I've got quite a few of you, you'll be able to have a look at the beginning of the video. Oh, this wire's a runaway. You'll be able to have a look at the beginning of the video. I'm going to take you through the downloads for the Totally Beads free PDFs. Now, you'll have until tomorrow morning to get the instructions for these. So just pop onto the website. There is a category down in the search bar that's entitled Free Projects, which I think is lovely. It's not very often you get something for free, so we want you to entertain yourselves while you can and while you're at home, and every day for a 24-hour period will be a new set of instructions. So you just need to add them into your basket, check out, obviously it's going to be free, unless you need any other little materials while you're there, but your PDF will be emailed to you, and then you're going to have that to be able to start creating with. Okay, I'm on my last petal, so I won't waffle on for you too much. Let me know if you want any more help as well, working with wire or projects that you're working on. Wire and seed beads are going to be featured heavily on my Create and Craft show tomorrow. So I'm going to be using seed beads and a 0.3 and a 0.5 wire to create my lovely little rose. I'll give you another little sneak peek of that just before we finish. So French beading, and I know we did host some workshops. I'm sure as and when we can, we will start the workshops up again. Totally Beads are based in Clacton, and they run lovely little bead clubs and workshops, which obviously we can't do at the moment, so we're bringing them to you at home. I know many of you, regardless of having to quarantine or stay inside at the moment, lots of you can't get to the workshops. So this is an ideal opportunity for you to join us as well. So we're going to have a Facebook Live every day. We're planned out for this week, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if there is anything that you would like to see, just pop onto the Facebook page. You can send us a message, let us know. Comment on the videos. We're going to keep an eye on them as well. And we can obviously tailor make some of the videos. It's like having a personal one-to-one session, really. So if you're stuck with anything, or there are projects that you just can't quite master sat at home on your own, then we can do the little make-alongs as well. Okay, so down to our biggest row on here, and just remember to keep on squashing them down, interlocking them into those previous bicones. Hi Lynn, hope you're okay, stay safe. Yes, thank you Lynn, and you as well. We're all doing good. So I've got John, my husband, works away most of the time. He's in security, so as you can imagine, his work at the moment, there is no sign of finishing. If anything, I think he's going to get busier, but he does work on his own. But he will be home on Wednesday, which I can't wait for, because I am a bit lost, obviously in my new home, but I'm a bit lost without him here. I think all of our normal daily routines are a little bit disrupted, so I'll feel better once he's back on Wednesday. And then we also have Beth, my stepdaughter. She is coming to anchor down and get on with schoolwork. How are you coping with kids being off? She's 15, so hopefully so far her motivation for homeschooling is going well. I think we're all going to have those challenges ahead. It's going to be a little bit tricky. I know Kitty was majorly multitasking today. I'm sure she won't mind me saying she really gave me a giggle this afternoon. Apparently her Christopher, every time asked for help today, didn't say mum, he was calling her Mrs. Robinson, which I think is just brilliant, using her as teacher for the day. So obviously it's hard working with the kids at home as well, but we're gonna get through it. My sister has both of her children at home now as well, and it was my parents' 40th wedding anniversary today. Happy anniversary, Mum and Dad. Obviously when all this is done, we can all get together and celebrate. So everything's gone on hold at the moment, hasn't it? But I think probably they're going to spend their 40th wedding anniversary playing Scrabble, I think, as it goes at the moment. Caroline, gorgeous bicones. The petals would make lovely earrings. Oh, yes, they would. Could you say what ones you are using, as I missed... Let me see if I can get the rest of your comment. As I missed the start of your videos. Yeah, so I've got a 4mm bicone in here at the moment. I've got 6mm pearls. I think. I'll check that for you in a second. I might be making it up. I know the samples I made were those sizes. I'm using a 0.3 gauge wire, but you can make these in absolutely any sizes. And I love the idea of taking these and making different jewellery elements out of them as well. You're quite right. You could make earrings out of these because they are a gorgeous little pendant shape. You could also even add them onto necklaces. If you, for example, took something like a string of pearls and made a necklace, you could also link on these as little spacers in between all of the pearls as well. So they'll lend themselves to lots of different projects. And the great thing is, with using the wire rather than a thread, which obviously you could do as well, we're just doing a right angle weave, you could actually mould them. So this is why the wire is so great, because if I'm going to be making flowers out of them, and when they're in your hair or as a brooch, you don't want them to flop, which they would a lot of the time if you were to weave them. So obviously with things like these, you can mould them, you can shape them like so, and then it's going to hold its shape. So when you are then wearing it as a brooch, oh, it looked nice on my jumper, when you're wearing them as a brooch, it's going to hold that shape. Another really nice one to do, I showed this at the very beginning, are these bows. Now you can make these, again, this is obviously just a very petite one because in the sets we actually have smaller brooches, but you could make this in any size. I've had these on Kirby grips, on hairbands, and they make really beautiful little accessories. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all of my petals done. So as you can see, I've shaped them all. I've got lots of wire still on my stem as well. Jennifer, thank you for doing this for us. Oh, Jennifer, you are more than welcome. We all need to stick together. So we are just doing really nice and relaxed. I'm just at home in my sweats, as you can see. I do have, I haven't put pyjama trousers on. The last I did a live, you could see my Christmas pyjamas. I've kept it professional today. I'm wearing my jeans. But it's just really nice for us all to get together and obviously do something, get a little project under our belts for the day. Okay, so when I'm bringing them together, I'm going to take 2 petals at a time, bringing them together so that they are edge to edge along the petals. And remember, we pinched underneath the bicones on each of them, so I do have a really nice tight angle in there. I'm holding it in one hand, all of the stems, and I'm going to take 2, bring them together, and I am moulding them as one. So I'm just twisting it together, and that's going to hold it into shape. Now remember, when you're working with the wire, you don't want to overwork it, because the more twists and the more bends and kinks you put in it, the more brittle it will become. And because we have pinched the edge of those underneath the bicones, they're going to give us a really nice neat finish. And then this is just going to give me a little bit more structure. So now I can take my 3rd one, and I'm then going to take all 3 of them together. So I'm not taking the 2 I've already used and twisting it again. I'm now taking all 3 and twisting that together. And you'll see that they now hold together beautifully. And then this one, oh, will just come apart, give it an extra twist. Make sure you're always twisting in the same direction as well, because if you start to twist in the opposite direction, like I said, you're going to weaken it. put these ones together as well, and they are just going to link in into the middle. So once you're happy with your shape, and don't worry about gaps because we can fill those afterwards, I'm now going to take the whole thing. I'm bringing the petals together just so I can get right in underneath. So I'm effectively joining two stems on here. And then I'm using the whole thing, and you'll see that I'm moving my hand further away from the actual flower. And with wire, the more you twist it and the tighter the twists go, the neater the twists actually become. So they neaten themselves out. So I want to give myself a really solid stem. And because I'm moving my hand away, I'm not overworking one particular point of my wire. It's moving all the way down the stem. And this is going to give me a lovely little foundation to then wrap it onto my brooch back or whatever it might be. So I'm then just going to position my petals, open this lovely flower up, and you'll see that you've then got, I guess it's like a lily, isn't it? Really lovely little lily shape that we've got there. And then we're going to add our pearl into the middle. So we'll take an extra little piece of wire. I could probably take one from the stems, but we'll do another one. An extra piece, pop your pearl through the middle, like so. Again, keeping it nice and central, so I'm just putting it right into the middle, and again, to get that really nice finish, hold the pearl so that the holes are top and bottom, you've got the wire coming through, and just pinch underneath and in the middle. And then give this a little twist. And because you've already pre-pinched it, and can you see what I mean about the wire organising itself? The more you twist it, and I just want it to go as near to the pearl as possible, the more you twist it, the neater it becomes. So you're just letting it do the hard work, really. And that's going to give me the little centrepiece for the middle of my flower. And you should just have a nice little gap in between the petals. I just want to make sure that you don't have any wire stuck in the middle either. It does need to go all through one piece. So what I'm doing is tucking it in to the bottom of one of my petals. Oh, come on. Let me trim off those kinky bits. Tucking it underneath one of my petals. There we go. And then you can pull that all the way through, and that's going to sit hopefully without the holes showing in the pearl either, because we've put it on that lovely stem. And then I'm just going to take, again, all of that flower together, taking that pearl stem, and I'm going to wrap that around, and we'll just twist those together to tighten that up. And all the way down. Okay, and then we can trim off some of our wire, and then we're ready to attach it onto the brooch. There we go. So you can have a nice little shape. Oh, Marie, I've frozen. I hope I haven't frozen for everybody. Elaine, that is gorgeous. Thank you. Oh, lovely. Thank you so much. So obviously you can have it as a really nice brooch, or you can put it onto a little hair clip. I'm going to use the wider brooch to put this on. There are two in your sets, but I'm going to use one of the larger ones. And then I'm going to open it up. Obviously, just be safe with the pins because we're going to have this little guy hanging around the place. And then you can take all of the stem and put it through exactly one of the holes. So that's going to give me a nice central finish. And then you can take the stem and wrap it around the outside. So I'm going to go once over to the left, and then I'm going to cross over, and I'm going to go once over to the right. Now, if you wanted to keep the stems separate, you could, and you could probably wrap it really nice and neatly around the back here. And you could have individual ones. You can always cover this with a little bit of ribbon as well. But because I've got my flower in the middle, and then I've wrapped the wire once over this side, crossed over and done once over this side, it stops it from flopping on the actual brooch itself. And then I'm just going to trim it nice and neat to the edge of the brooch. And then I'm going to use my flat nose pliers just to pinch those in. So I've got my very edge of the wire on here. It's not going to be worn in that way because they're going right over the edge. So if you do want to sell or gift these pieces, then you can be confident that they can be worn comfortably as well. And that's it. If you wanted to add a little bit of glue, you could always add that on there as well, but that's going to hold on and be nice and secure. What pliers am I using? Oh, Kitty. Yes, so tomorrow you might have seen us talking about these, so it's probably back to front for you as well. But tomorrow on Create and Craft, I am launching my plier kit. I've been working on this for several months. I think this is the empty one I've been using. Oh no, it's full. Okay. I've been working on these for months actually. I'm launching them on Create and Craft tomorrow, but they are also on the Totally Beads website. And I've been working with them for a long time because I wanted to get everything right. So inside you have a ruler and a bead sizer. In fact, I'll tell you exactly what size beads I'm using. Here's me trying to guess for you all. Look, so it's got a little bead sizer all the way along. Oh, it's an 8mm pearl. There you go. So it must be 8mm pearl and a 4mm bicone. So when you are asked what you're using or you don't know what your stash is, you can actually just take the bead, you put the bead sizer over the top of it. That gives me a 4mm bicone, and the pearl is an 8mm. So that's going to fit in there perfectly. So you'll know exactly what materials you have. You also have a pair of scissors, a bead scoop, ideal for working with all your seed beads. There is a tube in there that will house your needles. I've included 3 easy eye needles in there. All the needles that Kitty gives you in the kits, you can then house in these little tubes. And then on the other side, you've got your round nose pliers, your flat nose pliers, and also your cutters. And they all come in obviously a little carry case as well. So I did find when I'm making jewellery, I'll always sit down, I'll pick up my pliers, pick up my mat, and then you sit down and then you think, oh, I also need scissors, or oh, I also can't find my beading needle, or oh, I need to, scoop up all of my seed beads quickly. Oh, I need a ruler to measure things. So I wanted to put it all in one place. So you can just grab this and then create on the go. So these will be launching on Create and Craft tomorrow, but like I said, they are on the Totally Beads website as well. Hopefully you love them as much as I do. Ruth, I love my plier set from you. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I did a little, hold on, I'll come and talk to you all again now. I did a little Facebook Live launching them, a little sneaky peek, launching them, and we also had them at the Essex Bead Fair as well. So I know a few of you, the lucky few so far, have them already. So hopefully you are enjoying them. I've had great feedback from them, thank you. Okay, so this is the little brooch that we made, and then like we said, you could put it onto hair clips. They look so amazing in your hair as little accessories, but you could also put them on bags or gift bags, do them as little detachable gifts. So yes, that is our little make along for today. So what day is today? I don't know. Today's Monday. So that was today's make along. Tomorrow I'm going to be live on Create and Craft at 9 a.m. And for those of you who missed the beginning part of the video, I've got my lovely little French beaded Beauty and the Beast roses. So they come in the dome. I need to glue this one on. He's a little bit wobbly. Beauty and the Beast domes. The sets will teach you how to make beaded roses, which I absolutely love. Again, lots of different uses for them. I've got some really beautiful hematite drum bracelets. So again, a really nice weaving project, hopefully something that you can get into. I think this is my favourite colour so far, but tune in tomorrow, let me know what your favourite colours are as well. And then we have the beautiful swag necklaces as well, so we're going to create gorgeous little detail from ombre selections of beads. So I will be on air at 9. You can then join Kitty here at 10 o'clock on Facebook Live, and she will be making some bead stringing, which will be Tuesday's PDF. Love the plier set we'll order tomorrow. Oh, thank you very much, Jo. I'm glad you like it. So tomorrow, Kitty will be doing the bead stringing. So you have, what time are we now? Just after 7. So you've probably got about I know 14 hours left to get this download. Pop it into the basket on the Totally Beads website from the free project section and check out, and that will be emailed to you. That's today's, so that's going to expire tomorrow. It will self-destruct at 11 o'clock. And then you can get the bead stringing Wednesday. Kitty will be doing something else. Kitty, if you're still watching, remind me what you're doing. And on Thursday, I'll be doing chainmail. And on Friday, I'll be doing some multi-row. Thursday I'm doing chainmail. Friday will be multi-stranded necklaces, and I've got a good few top tips for you. So we'll do a little materials list. Hopefully you can join us again and make along with us as well. Thank you so much. Herringbone stitch. Thank you, Kitty. This is why this interaction is so helpful. So yes, Wednesday will be herringbone stitch with Kitty, which is a great one, and I know that was requested. So if you do, thank you, Kitty. Friday is floating necklaces. I'm sorry, my brain is mush this week. I'm quite overwhelmed with everything going on. Obviously for me, I work from home anyway, so I am still working. I'm still doing lots of live videos, and we as companies are trying to be with you as much as we can at this time and supporting you. You've supported us for many years, and we are now trying to do the same for you at home. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. Please share any pictures if you do make your brooches. Like I said, we've got Totally Handmade, which is the group. You'll find it on the Facebook page for Totally Beads. Share your makes. We would love to see how you're doing, and obviously start inspiring other people as well. So we can still be a lovely little online community. Thank you so much. I'm off now. I need to go and have my shower, get ready for TV tomorrow, wash my hair, pack my bags. Hopefully I can find some TV clothes in some boxes. Still unpacking from the house move, but we are doing well. So thank you for joining us, and I will see you tomorrow on Air Create and Craft 9 o'clock, and Kitty will be with you at 10. Take care of yourselves and keep in touch.